In the Hebrew scriptures, you find an interesting statement there, I think it's in the Leviticus, that addresses the Israelites that you should not lend to your brother with interest, with riba.
When you're asking what is the Jewish understanding of rebate, then you really have to look at not only the biblical but the rabbinic understanding of rebate. And for the rabbis, these laws would apply in the relationship of Jews to non-Jews just as much as it applies in the relationship of Jews to Jews.
Through the first millennium of the Common Era, the Christian Church simply affirmed the Old Testament principle that lending on interest was disapproved, on the continuing presupposition that lending was an aspect of care for the needy.
Usury is condemned by all fathers of the Church, both in the East and in the West. St. Ambrose, St. Jerome, St. Augustine, Pope St. Leo the Great, as well as bishops meeting in church councils.
As you get deeper into it, one of the longer lasting impressions which you get is the piety of the Islamic bankers, the sense that they are not just engaging in financial transactions, but that in addition they are fulfilling a religious duty.
Islamic finance as being a part of Islamic economics is much more than being about interest-free finance. It's about trust, honor, integrity in contracts.
Our members who do business with faith-based organizations, whether it's a church or a mosque or some organization affiliated with a religion, whether they're building senior housing or trying to create small businesses to revitalize a community, or whether they're trying to build a synagogue, our members have never had a loss on one of those loans. So that's a very good experience.
The love of money is the root of all evil. Money is available to if you manage it and not let it manage you.
Any successful Islamic banking is the one that looks at humanity first, looks at the person and develop the person who has control on the money to recognize God in every act.
I was very upset or frustrated at first because it looked like I'm not going to buy any house at that time. But when we find out the American finance is, for me, it's really, just a good news, very good news. Our understanding is no interest involved, that's the main idea.
What if everyone said, we won't pay interest? Well, there is such a movement. In Dallas, ABC's Peggy Waymeyer.
Interest is banned because under Islamic law, all parties to a financial transaction must share in the risks and the profits, and no party can be guaranteed a return at the expense of someone else. At this Muslim financial institution, one of a handful across the country, home buyers do not receive a mortgage.
American finance house Lariba is a faith-based financial institution. In 1987, a pioneering group of community members created this financial institution that has grown manifold since its modest beginnings. It has become the most recognized name in its field across the United States and around the globe.
Islamic financing is a total concept of financing. It incorporates 3 or 4 different aspects. The first thing is it must be socially responsible financing. The second aspect is the rate of return that's used for the financing needs to be marked to the market. It cannot start from a predetermined interest rate or any interest index. And the third most important item is it needs to be asset-based.
We are out to disengage people's thinking in terms of riba or interest. We want people to think in terms of the economic viability of every activity they embark on.
Lariba serves many of the states within the U.S. and we're looking to expand the canvas and cover the whole United States.
We started with American financing company a long time ago. We had a loan from the American finance company for the car wash 10 years ago.
Lariba provides the services and facilities for financing home financing, somebody who is interested to buy a new home. It can be a condo, it can be a townhouse, it can be an independent house, it can be a duplex, triplex and fourplex also.
I decided to buy a house in an Islamic way, and alhamdulillah, American Finance House provided that for me. Now I have some sense of belonging. I used to rent apartments for the last 10 years, and I was just going from one apartment to another apartment due to the needs, the rises, the kids was growing.
My name is Ashfaq Shabandri. I'm working in KFC last 15 years, and I own this store last 5 years. I'm very satisfied because of Lariba. We don't have to deal with the interest and all.
They treat us like a family, That's why we are very happy with them.
We found the opportunity to be competitive with what we got with the bank, so financially it worked out for us as well. The website of Lariba gives some background about Lariba's activities, and it also has some informative links to other information on the notion of Islamic banking and Islamic financing. So both the general background and specific projects of Lariba, their philosophy and their methods.
We are a specialized house, and we have a very recognized name as serious, innovative, high quality, transparent, American regulated finance company. A community Lariba financier or Islamic banker is a person who doesn't only have money, but a person who is willing to sacrifice his own time, his own life, his own belongings to make sure that the community lives better. It's not only a matter of how much money you make in terms of return on your investment. It is how many assets have you helped accumulate? How many households have you helped open up? How many people have you made their lives better? How many people have you touched not only their vision, their aspirations, their spirits, their hearts, but touched their pocket, their wallets? Because you can tell them anything you want, but end of the day they say, well, what difference did it make in my life? Am I eating better? Am I dressed better? Am I driving a better car? Am I enjoying better health care? And that is what a community banker, community financier should always be looking for.